Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. First things first, happy Father's Day as well as happy Juneteenth. And we're very happy to have you here. My name is Christopher Lee. I am a concept designer. I worked in the theme park industry for about 10 years, worked with companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Studios. I am here today with my good buddy Michael. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael L. Walker. I am a writer and former creative producer, also from the theme park industry where I worked with Chris. And Chris and I have known each other for a long time, and we recently decided to collaborate on learning how to make a video game. Neither of us have ever done it before, but we decided that was an adventure we wanted to upon, and we wanted to take you on that journey with us. Hence the Creative Tavern and the stream that you're watching now. So,
Mm.
welcome.
Welcome. And just want to let you guys know the Creative Tavern is a platform for all the creative people out there, anything that you want to share, your journey, your artwork, your song, your story, feel free to join our Discord and just share yourself. This I have always wanted a place to be to share all my artwork. So that's why Michael and I created this so that we have what I want. I want to be able to share everyone's work. And so welcome. Very happy you're here. And because today is Sunday, it is my turn to share with you guys what I did this week. And so I am going to give you guys a quick recap. 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 All right, let me share my screen with Michael's screen. Scene 4. Boom. All right, so you guys are seeing this, but I will do this and then click on scene 4. Boom! Wow, everything's going so smoothly. That's awesome. All right, so the homework for me from last week was to work on assets for scene 4. And if you guys don't know what scene 4 is all about, scene 4 is the it's a scene in the first part in the level 1 of our game in that we are going through a really tight corridor in order to get to our last scene, which is scene 5. We decided to do this scene 4 is because it's a easier kind of level to initially design for me to create assets and actually bring it into Unity. Uh, I didn't get to that part yet, but I got it to a point where I did create some assets in Blender, and then I kind of want to get Michael's as well as Captain Blue Blue's feedback so that I don't go too far, and then Michael's like, you should have waited and you know you did too much, Chris. Pull back, pull back. So I didn't want to spend that extra time and energy in order to get to that next point. So what I'm going to show you right now is the first pass of scene 4. Scene 4, right, Michael? Yeah, and scene 4. All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to press play. Whoops, that's not pressing play. This is pressing play. So we are going flying through a really tight corridor filled with robots. Rah, bad guys. Obviously, we're flying a little bit too quick, but we'll figure out the speed and everything in Unity. And then within the corridor, you'll have robots as well as various different structures. You see how we're flying through structure. And then we're also flying through various different types of structures. There's more structures. Yay! And sometimes the structures are not structures, but they're also debris. Oh my God, we have to fly through a whole bunch of right now they're just kind of placeholders. I need to get Michael and Captain Blue Blue's feedback on some of the types of elements that I created in there. And also some of the things I want to experience is to have like Indiana Jones moments where we think we're going flying through into one tunnel, but instead we fly through into another tunnel. And I created assets for that, and I show you right here, right now. It's like, oh no, we're not going to the middle one, we're going to the right one. And so that's essentially it, trying to create a very tight transition space between 3 and 5 because 3 is a medium space, 5 is a big space, and so in order to give contrast, I created or we created scene or we dictated that scene 4 would be a small space for us to fly through. Anything else to add, Michael? With everything that I said?
No, that was beautiful. That was a great, concise summary.
Yeah, cool. And and thank you, Captain Blue Blue, for being patient because he's heard this like maybe 5 times already. So thank you for being a trooper, man. All right, so let's take a look at what I designed for this week. I'm going to go ahead and close this. All right,
Ooh.
and then now you guys are seeing what I've created for scene 4. Yeah. Okay. So this is a second pass, and what you're looking at are basically Lego modules, um, so that once they are all nicely textured and everything, I could import, or actually, hold on, let me turn off back face culling. There you go. That makes a little bit more sense. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, to essentially these are little Lego building block pieces where we can connect them together in order to form kind of like a rail, or think of like a water park ride slide, inter tubings, if you will. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in Vegas and Wet and Wild, we have this ride called the Black Hole. It's basically like a black tube, and then you're just flying around inside of a black tube with LED lights inside. It's very fun. But anyways, so I created these in order for us to utilize in any fashion we want. So, for example, if let's say we want the player to have, or actually, they're not going to have the choice of where to go, or maybe it's something that Michael and I can talk about. Um, they would have 6 different spots to fly through, right? And if we only want to give them 3 spots to fly through, 1, 2, and 3, or it's like a combination, you know, combine that with that, and then we could take this, combine this with this, boop, and then I'm gonna have to rotate something like that. All right, and then maybe make a little interlocking thing. Hold on, sorry. But Michael, really quick, does this kind of make sense with what I'm doing?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So whenever we have our rail system down, we're able to basically piece all these various uh, corridors, structures together, and obviously we talked about making a bigger one, right? So let me
Mm-hmm.
go. Let me fly in there really quick. So these are
Ooh, cool.
6 different pieces. Uh,
Yeah.
so there's this entrance one right here. Or, fly up, fly up. So there's
Mm-hmm.
this one right here, and then there's this one right here. That's kind of like a little end cap right here, right?
Oh.
And then there's this one where it's kind of just blank, right? And then there's this one.
Oh, that's
Uh,
so cool.
oh shit. There's this one. It has one entrance, and then there's this one. It has 2 entrance or exit slash entrances, however you want to.
Yeah, that's great.
Yay! Well, I'm glad you like it, dude. There's that,
Yeah,
right?
and it's
And
I didn't realize that even like those individual ribs were modular. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I'm trying to make it as modular as possible, and this one right here is not as modular, but it serves
Hmm.
like a huge junction. Uh,
Sure.
uh, so if we are boy, this is really chugging. Go faster. Go faster. So once, let's just say we're going through here, we have the decision of going, when I say we, I mean me and you, Michael. We have the decision
Sure.
of letting them go to the left, middle, or I'm sorry, left, middle, or right. And if we decide to go right, then it's like, oh, we could go through this hole right here, or we could go into the middle. We could make a turn, and we could keep going around and around, and keep going around and around and around. Um, and you might be saying, well, what if we don't have anything right here, right? Then I would say to you, uh, then I shall take one of these door caps.
Ooh.
Yeah, hold on. And then I will take the door cap and just, actually, hold on.
Nice.
That's better. I wish, actually, no, that's not true. And then I'm gonna fly right back in. and like, oh, this is a door. I can't fly through it, so we're just
Yeah,
gonna keep
cool.
going. Yeah, and that's about. I mean, that's the extent of it. I spent like the whole week trying to figure out how to, create this thing that makes sense and find the
Mhm.
best shape possible. And it turns out or to me at least, it's this octagon. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight
Yep.
octagon shape that gives it a kind of cool corridor feel to it. It's not
Mhm.
too
Mhm.
it's not too circly, it's not too round. It's kind of just right in my opinion. So yeah, basically there's like a whole bunch of various types of modules, and this one was a bitch to create. This one right here. This
The
one it
little
basic
try.
Yeah, it's going from this, and then you
Oh, it
basically
looks so
go
cool.
from left or right, right? Um, and then this piece right here, it gives you the option to go up like that.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
or down like that. Um, and also I've created various doors slash coupling pieces that kind of goes inside the little let me turn this off. Oh, not this. This. Yeah, there we
Oh
go.
yeah. That's great.
Yeah, these will essentially go inside of here. I'll show you. I'll show you. I made an example, and I created various
Oh,
little
that's
pieces
awesome.
that you can put
Mhm.
inside these areas,
Mm.
so that they're
Oh
modular.
yeah.
So all you can do is just take this, put it inside, create a copy of it, and then copy of however a combination you created with everything, and then create that as a shit, I forgot what's it called in Unity. Um, you make original and then you make a copy of that. What's it called?
Oh, a prefab.
Prefab. Thank you. Thank you. I forget. I forget. Yeah. So you could create as many different prefab combinations as you want, using one, one piece of uh, geometry, right?
Mhm.
And I'll notice that I'm keeping in mind all the things you don't need. For example, if we're leaning this into the back of the corridor wall, you're not going to need
Mhm.
the back or the underside. And so that's why
Sure.
when whatever I'm going to show you later, you're gonna see like opening holes like right here. It's like why is there open? It's because players won't see that. Even this one right here, I can go ahead and go just to save on verts.
Sure.
Verts, baby. And based on Captain Blue Blue, he says it's not really about verts anymore these days. It's about the
Textures.
textures, yeah. And I have something really smart in my, or at least that's what I assumed is smart. I have something planned. I have plans to show you guys
Excellent.
what I want to do. All right, so what I'm going to show you next are examples of what I created. Um,
Ooh.
taking one tube,
Using those pieces. Uh-huh.
taking this tube right here, and then
Mhm.
combining using all these various pieces right here, and then just putting it inside. And I want to show you how that looks right now.
Cool.
Actually, hold on.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna show you right now. What the fuck? What's going on? Oh, okay. I can't fly. I'm sorry. Apologies. I can't fly through this right now because I animated something for a but wait there's more moment, but it's not really a wait there's more moment. It's just the animation. Hold on.
Okay,
Let me
no
do that.
problem. Oh, that looks so cool.
So yeah, basically, using these pieces, I basically created like a modular room that has a whole bunch of gack in it that it's
Mhm.
repeatable, and if it's too much I could take it away. If it's too little I could add more. So it's very very modular. It's very modular and also very versatile. um, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, it
Again,
looks great.
awesome. I'm glad you like it, dude. And right now it's still not textured or anything. I have in mind what I want, and I want to do. I want to get the shapes and concept right before I move on to the textures, because if I
Mhm.
texture it nicely, if it doesn't make sense, I kind of wasted time, right? So
Mhm.
here's one example. Here's another example. Maybe we're
Ooh, that
flying through
one's
like a
cool.
fuel cell corridor, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
right? And uh, then we're flying through this type of
Oh
corridor,
yeah,
something
I
like that,
love it.
right? And then I created one more. It's like it's something like this, but maybe this isn't a ball. Maybe it's
Oh
like a
yeah.
electricity that we have to like. It's like, oh crap, we're flying. We have to kill this electrical thing, or else we'll get fried. Like it takes our power away, or something,
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
something. That's something I want to ask you in Captain Blue Blue. Uh, what other stuff can I put in here? Because as I was creating these various shapes, I'm like, well, okay, I could put that there. Like here's some fuel vats, maybe. Um,
mm-hmm.
Smaller fuel vats. I just basically made it a little bit smaller. Um, but yeah, we could talk a little bit about that later. What other elements would we like to see in this scene for tight corridor thingy majiggy, right? So those are the four examples. And then the last thing I want to show you is I created a really quick pseudo stage. And let me move this really quick because that's chopping into the thingy majiggy. There you go. Boom. Okay. I created amusement right, and this is
Ooh,
is
cool.
very I mean it's very short, but essentially I just took all the pieces here that I made, right, all these, and then just kind of constructed it using those pieces and creating kind of like this scene for ride layout.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, and then from there you could just build as much or as small as you need, and that's the thing that we wanted to figure out is the previous scene 4 version that I showed you guys. It was essentially me just taking a long track and then extruding a, a square, and then we don't know if that's fun or not. So Michael and I are gonna have to figure out in Unity if we'll have to come up with a nice little fun layout where we can fly through and all that stuff. And once that's figured out, we can lay all this little tubing corridor sections on top of the layout, right? All right, so what I wanted to show you is I'm gonna start from the beginning. Boom. All right, and then hopefully this plays. So this is very elementary. I didn't like make it sexy or anything. It's just, flying through with all the tiny little pieces that we created. Oh no, make a left. Uh, make another left. And then go upwards, fly up, pull up. And then, uh, and then make a left. And then make a left or right. Oh, it's a left or right. I'm sorry. I forget which way. So that's basically it, and that's just looping right now. And your thoughts, Michael? What do you think?
I love it. Everything you've done so far, it's really fantastic. Yeah, it's really really exciting. It's like seeing Scene 4 come to life. The and it's great because like I'm the one thing that I was gonna say, um, not to say that we need to change it, but I just want to throw it out there and make sure you're cool with that. I feel like the big departure from the last time we looked at this is we're kind of missing those long sort of curvy sections where you're kind of like in this like slow curve up or to the right or down. Like a lot of these now are very straight with sharp turns.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
which is okay for me because the way all of that harmonizes with this octagonal shape, and I think it also lends itself to the slower pace that the ship is flying because
mhm,
when you have those like nice uh, gentle curves, it feels cooler to like really fly through there quickly.
right.
Whereas with these sort of sharp turns, it feels like appropriate to be flying a little bit slower,
Mhm, mhm,
um, which is cool. And the modular pieces that you've created and the different components and like combining them together to make these different rooms and sets and scenes is fantastic. Because even like those like four sort of like mock rooms that you made up front,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
it's great because like one of them, yes, one of them looks like it's like a fuel uh, warehouse. Another one looks like, oh, this is like some kind of maintenance area where they've got the MEP, right? There's like just a whole bunch of pipes and stuff that have all kind of like converged in this area. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So there's like, intense engineering structural components here that have just kind of like that are running through the facility, and then in this particular part of the tunnel,
Mhm.
they happen to be exposed. Um, then this one is cool too. This seems kind of like some sort of like energy chamber. I would imagine this like sphere that's in the middle is kind of like generating some kind of energy source, and then the pipes along the sides are
Mhm. Mhm.
some kind of regulators or transporting the information, or not the information, the energy. And then
Yeah.
like the very first one was cool because that one has those like these fins on the like top on the top and the bottom on either side, almost like you would like if you open up a computer and you look at
Oh,
the the
power
heating element.
cooler. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it's kind of got like all these fins to radiate the heat.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, that's kind of like what that feels like. So I was like, oh man, this is so cool because you're just using all the different little pieces that you have, but you've created these very different feeling rooms,
Mhm. Mhm.
which I think
Mhm.
is great.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that I think these rooms are should be how do I word this? They should not be the standard room. These should be like little special moments or
Uh-huh.
special sections that we fly into. We're like, oh, cool, we're in this area. And one of the things that we could look into doing too is like color coding the different parts of scene four, so that way you
Mhm.
start in like a section with like these yellow labels and signs and kind of like a yellow theme or like a yellow motif, and then you can move into another area that's like, oh, this one's the green one, and you're kind of like moving through those spaces, getting closer and closer to scene five.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
uh, but I think these sort of rooms that you've created should be these sort of like special moments, and
Sure.
we should use the the vast majority of the tunnel section should be a little bit less dense with
Simplified.
stuff. Yeah, but maybe we should and by we I mean you, um,
Yeah.
look at, at figuring out like what that standard tunnel feels like. Because the one that we have like for most of the sort of sample rail that you've created, I think feels a little bit too sparse. Like here, yeah, that I think is still looking a little like this section here. I think is getting there. I think there might
Still
be a little
sparse.
too many of the doors of the like
Yeah.
door portals, but there's not
Yeah.
enough stuff kind of on the
It,
walls.
right. Right. Right.
So there's some kind of like balance
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
so that way you can
Mhm.
have these sections where like you're in the tunnels that are primarily designed for just connecting one space to the other, and then
Mhm.
there's some spaces that are like this room has a whole bunch of shit in it
Stuff.
that is
Yeah.
part of the facility, part of the installation.
Yeah. 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 Um, I totally agree with you. Um, I think I think I will need your help slash direction with the story element of it all. Because again, I could come up with it, but I think at the end of the day, I think you and I should work out which sections needs like that special room treatment, and then so from there, I'll definitely create like a generic corridor tunnel, right? It's not like very specific. It's just, here's a little door, here's a little stepway, this thing right here, maybe a
Hmm.
pipe or two, not too many, right? It's just a kind of a generic look, but once we actually get into kind of like this more power core room-ish looking type deal, then you can tell me,
Hmm.
all right, Chris, this section right here, we're gonna lace it with power and energy, and then so I'll just deck it out with a whole bunch of like, I don't know, like power rods, fuel cell rods, and little cooling fins right here.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's definitely break it down as we look at it in Unity, and then we'll decide this room right here section is going to have power. This one right here is going to be the maintenance. This one right here is going to be XYZ. That one's going to be ABC, right? So that I can already foresee myself like decking out just every single place. And I think you're right, having kind of like the contrast between big and small, right? Just the same thing like
Mhm.
you're pointing out. Have it simple corridors and then corridors with a lot of stuff in it, right? Oh wow, Captain Blue
Totally.
was put a lot of
Oh
stuff
boy.
in there. Wow, hold on. But before I read it, Michael, do you have anything else to add?
Um, the only other thing is like because I don't remember seeing it in this playthrough here that we're watching right now. Are there any sections in this the the little mock theme park ride that you've made where it opens up into like the bigger space?
Hold on, let me see.
Because I
I
feel
think
like you definitely made one of those, like that first ribbed
this one
section
right
that you
here.
showed us.
This one right here. This
Oh
is
yeah,
the
that opens up a little bit.
this
Okay.
yeah, it's the bigger.
Oh yeah. Could
And
we
if you
go ahead?
want, I mean, we can make it a lot bigger too, because
Yeah, that's
it's
what I was gonna say. Can we do one that maybe gets because we
yeah,
definitely don't want to do one that is that's as big as the scene 5 finale because we don't want to
right.
spoil that reveal. But I feel like this even what you have right here doesn't feel quite big enough. I think we can go a little bit
Sure.
bigger.
Sure. And I think you'll, because right now, I don't know. I'm
Well, I
well,
mean,
hold on.
go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Maybe you don't feel it's big because before we enter into that big area, we're actually in a kind of
Pretty big area already.
a medium size area. Like once I make this turn right here, we're in this
Mm-hmm.
area, which is kind of like a medium size area. And then so
Mm,
this is the corridor, small area right here. So maybe never mind that.
mm-hmm.
So from here, it makes the transition into kind of like the big area. But with all that said, we can make it as big as we feel as appropriate. Because sometimes we just gotta play with it and make it as big as we want, right? We gotta
Sure.
make it feel good. But yeah, now this is the regular sized thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
to answer your question, I can make it as big as we want.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
what you have, I think that the size that you've created for the like the standard tunnel relative to the ship size, I think is perfect. That seems
is
spot
okay.
on.
All right, let me hold on. Let me see. Let me show you how big the ship size is and compared to. So this is our ship size right here, compared to the corridor.
Oh wow, it's way bigger than I was expecting. Oh man, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I think the ship can actually be, well, I mean, that's something maybe we'll play with when we get it into Unity,
Mhm.
but
Mhm. Mhm.
um,
So I
yeah,
mean,
because it feels so much
fly.
smaller here. Oh, okay.
You could still fly around. Actually, hold on. Let me do this right here, and let me fly it. Oh, see,
Now
we're
it's
clipping.
colliding with things.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're clipping now. Oh shit.
Interesting. Okay.
There you go. I don't want to. Well, I'm curious. If I do this, if I hit reset, nope, it doesn't reset. So be careful. Hold on. Uh, Control A, apply location, and then now if I do this, and if I hit, oh shit, I just fucked up.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Hello, everyone here?
Hi. I'm
Everyone still
here.
here? Okay. Did you see like everything went blank? Sorry,
Yep.
I accidentally hit the Control L. That's the lock screen. What I needed to hit was Alt G. There you go.
Oh.
That brings it back. Sorry, I thought L was for location, but that's not right. Anyways, but yeah, to your point, Michael, we could easily make this uh we can easily make this bigger or smaller depending
hmm
on in Unity or in Blender,
Sure.
however we feel in order to feel right or feel good, right? So
Yeah, I think yeah, scaling things in Unity is a piece of cake.
yeah,
We just need to make sure that the modular pieces relative to each other can accommodate different sizes. So if we have this like standard tube size, like the one that we're in right now,
Hmm.
and let's
Hmm.
say that you've got the one that comes up later that's like the medium sized tube. Um, we want to make sure there's also one that's like the large size tube,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
because because just taking like a standard size tube in Unity and then abutting it with like a large and butting it, we're taking two standard size tubes in Unity and just scaling one up. Um, that's going to be potentially problematic because if you've got like, for example, let's say the two that you're taking are the fuel warehouse themed ones. When you scale up the big ones, it's going to also scale up the size of the fuel towers and the vents and everything. So
Oh, I
you could
see. Yeah.
fly out of one and see like, oh my God, that ventilation shaft is gigantic because we just
Yeah.
scaled up the whole thing, as opposed to like, well, this tunnel just happens to be bigger than the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the like connecting pieces I think could potentially be difficult to do in Unity, and so it would be better to just have those ready to go
Yeah.
straight out of the export from Blender. That way, we have all the pieces, and we don't need to change the pieces size relative to each other. All we
Hmm.
have to do is just change the entire collection
Hmm. Hmm.
relative to how big we need it to be in Unity.
Right, 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 right. I would say as a general rule, if we needed to change the dimension of things, um, I mean, for simple things like little rods or something like a support, if we decide, oh, it needs a
Oh yeah,
spherical
yeah,
rod
yeah.
here, just, but if it's something more
Sure.
intricate, like, like well, something like this room in here, if you have like, if you, for example, if you wanted to have this, oh, Chris, we need this to be a little bit shorter. Um, you tell
Mm,
me, and I'll make it shorter, and I'll adjust the things appropriately because, yeah, I totally agree. Once
sure.
you make something big, then all of a sudden everything else in here is big, which is kind of
Right.
weird. And the most important thing, I mean, we could scale things up and down, but like you said, it has to be in uniform with one another because all these openings, uh, they share the same
Mm,
openings throughout so that again it could connect correctly.
that's
That's
perfect.
yeah, that's the most important thing, It's like these are all the pieces.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you
I
like
love
it
it.
cuz I was a little bit afraid that I mean it might be too simple, but I think just by having a couple of these little pieces, we could create awesome environment from a few
Totally.
pieces. And what's great, I had Captain Blue Blue's thing in the back of my mind is that um, I can use one I could use one texture for all these corridors, so they could share one color map
Nice.
for everything. If I do it really smart, I could have everything in one color map, but I'm not that smart yet. I'm not that experienced, so we'll figure it out if I gotta play with it. So for example, what I'm trying to say
Sure.
is all this crap in here can essentially share using one color map. That's the goal. That's my personal goal is to
Yeah, that
have
would be
it as
awesome.
as little memory usage as possible.
Sure.
Yeah. Um,
Cool, man.
that's about it.
This is
Let's take a
badass.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it, dude. Let's take a look at what Captain Blue said. He put a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. All right, we're gonna sorry, Captain Blue. All right, we're gonna take a look now. Captain Blue says no problem. It's fine. Interesting. I have feedback for the turns. Now we are getting somewhere. Yay. Kevin Blue says they all look great, and the addition of caps is a smart idea. A relative quick addition that I would like to see is longer turns that take up a 3x3 space. Right now, these look 1x1. Ah, I see. The roller coaster tycoon, these were called large units. Ah, I see. I think
Hmm.
the variety of small turns, medium, and large turns will create an essentially variety. I would It would need to be tested right now, but I wonder if a 1x1 90-degree turns would be hard to foresee enemies and obstacles. Got it, got it, got it. And I agree, this modular workflow is the way to go for sure. Yep. Uh, I'm glad. I Yeah, that's awesome. Yay. Captain Blue says this makes me think of the game Sewer Shark from 1992. Have you heard of that before? Sewer Shark? This is when I was in second
Mm,
grade.
nope, I haven't heard of that one, I don't think. Usually I'm pretty good about the historical video games, but that one
Yeah.
is a little bit too deep in the archives for me.
Yeah. It's a rail shooter flying game where you can combat mutants in the sewers of the future. Holy cow. You should check it out. It was made by FMV Full Motion Video. They rendered these modules and
Whoa.
spliced them together for a level. Ooh. But the look and feel is
Wow.
very much similar. Very cool. Stuff on the walls like vents, etc., can be changed by normal maps. Yep, yep, yep. That's very true. That's very, very true. Uh, we are here. We saw another. Oh, that's when I accidentally pressed. Yes, this you did not see anything. Yeah, you didn't see anything. Uh,
Everything was, yep,
dark. Sorry, sorry. It was a pack in
back in game.
game for Sega CD. Oh, what's a pack in
Cool.
game? Oh, is it the game that
Uh,
comes with the console?
right.
I see, I see.
Yeah, back in the day when consoles used to include games.
Hmm.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Now it's all
Um, yeah,
Steam.
great feedback, Captain Blue Blue, and I definitely, yeah, I think so. We were of similar minds when I was mentioning the sort of like those slow, sweeping, gentle curves
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
the first version. So one of the, yeah, I think what Captain Blue Blue is saying we might be able to do is, in addition to the sharp like 90-degree turns, if we also did some that were like 45-degree turns or like 30-degree turns or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
well, then you kind of already have one there, like
Yeah.
yeah,
The
right to the
the
left. Yeah, so that guy.
so this
Um,
one is a 40, well, that's not true. It's a 45-degree connect, but this is a 30-degree. I don't know. I'm shitty at math. This is 45 right here. So I guess this is
ah,
divided by 45 and 2.
that's probably 30. That looks like a
Maybe,
30-degree angle to me.
yeah, maybe. And this one is a 120 um that splits off because 120 120 for each side, right? 360. That's a
45,
uh
0. Maybe that's like,
yeah, because
I don't know.
this angle is 120. In order for me to get to this angle, I had to rotate it to
Oh,
120.
you got to go this way
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
no.
And then the other way is negative 120. And then when I combined it, which makes sense, this 360. Actually, wait, am I getting it right? No, a triangle is 180, so it's 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm this is
Oh, I see.
this is why I am an artist and not in math or
Yes,
anything.
that makes sense. I can see the 60-degree angle now on
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
yeah, where you like slice it off on the left there.
yeah. A triangle is
And
supposed to
yeah,
be 180.
and I think the one on the left there, if the top left cut is 45 degrees, then the angle of the bend should be half of that, right? So
Right.
22.5
5.
degrees.
Right. But
Because
the yeah, generally speaking, just create different versions of this angle, of these angles. Like this one right here is
yeah.
a 90 degrees, right?
Hmm.
And this one is less, and this is less. So just create different versions of it. And even like
Yeah,
these right here, right? I mean, this is definitely
sure.
a softer angle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you could make like like segments of that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um because like if you just chopped one of those off exactly how you have it right there, like
Yep.
that could be fine for one, and then
Yep.
maybe do one more that is an even that takes an even longer
Mm-hmm.
time
Mm-hmm.
for the to complete the arc. I
Arc.
guess that's like that would
Well,
be a
it's just
circle with
it
a.
isn't it just
I
like
guess you just
longer?
scale it, huh?
Yeah, you just scale it
Well,
bigger.
no, because if you imagine taking, I wish I could draw on here. Um, if you take exactly what you have right there and you stretch it out so it's not perfectly circular but becomes an ellipse, one of the, yeah, so, well, an ellipse like that, but imagine that the shape of the tube stays
The
uniform.
consistent. Sure, 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 sure.
So then you've got the that turn is it takes much longer for it to actually go from because basically like if you're starting imagine your ship is flying at the very top and it's going to the right so you're flying from the top going down the top rightmost section of the tube.
Hmm, hmm.
The amount of time it takes your ship to go from 0 to negative 90 to the negative 90 degree orientation change,
Hmm, hmm.
it will take longer in the ellipse than it would if it was a perfect circle, right?
Right, 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 right. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, so maybe if we do something like that, then we'll have some choices to
Different
play with.
variation. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Um. So, but for now, these pieces are okay. You're okay with the size and everything. Because I was thinking
Absolutely.
like the next step. Maybe I could play with some textures and just get an idea of what these damn things actually look like. Because I'm
Hmm.
kind of sick looking at the grayscale version. I kind of want to start, you know, putting the toppings on the dessert.
Sure.
Making it look cool and everything. Play with lighting, maybe perhaps. But
Okay.
again,
Yeah.
this was the most important like foundation that we need to figure out, that I wanted to prove to myself that these little modular pieces actually works, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you proved that, like that this looks great. And knowing what I know about how to use these elements in Unity, I think this is going to be like very a very effective workflow
Hmm, hmm.
um, to import these into Unity and then start building the level there.
Yeah. And one thing that I want to, a really quick question slash just brainstorm idea. For example, when I export these to you in Unity, um, would you want to have these as like a simple, I mean, just like this, like simple shapes without anything inside of them, so that you can put it in and then be like, all right, cool. And then we both can look at, all right, in this section, in this tube right here, we want the power core. We want something in here that's cool. And then later I will know that we both said this piece right here, we're gonna have stuff in here. So therefore I'm gonna make sure, whoa, shit.
Whoa, that was weird.
Yeah, it's there you go. Therefore
That
I
thing
would
like
bring,
exploded.
yeah, I would bring this in here.
Hmm.
I'll decorate it inside of Blender, so that
Hmm.
I know specifically what we want. What I can give you in order for you to set up all the pieces, like put all the tracks together, are just simple pieces like this, right? Because in reality, you probably don't need all these extra fancy stuff in there until we're ready. But until that time, you can have these, and also as well as like end caps, maybe. I mean, not. I mean, you don't really
Totally.
need that. But I mean, if you want it, I definitely can give that to you. Um, but yeah, just to set up the stage, if you will, just
Hmm.
really clean,
Sure.
non textured pieces. But by that time I give it to you, there probably will be textured already. Fingers crossed. Um, and then so once we establish, like, all right, so in this section right here, we wanted to have the little power core thing, and then I would know that, and so therefore I would
Mm-hmm.
put the power core in there, you know. But at this stage right now, I would say let's not worry about like giving you too many things to work with. I would just give you the most necessary Lego pieces, and then we
Sure.
can go from there. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Nice, nice. Um,
Um, One other thing that I'm thinking, uh, we don't have to do it, and maybe it's not necessary, but if we get to the point where we've done scene 4 and we've done scene 5 and we feel like scene 5 maybe needs a little bit more of something, what could potentially be cool is if the part of defeating the boss in scene 5 is that you have to fly back into a couple of these tunnels to like shoot some kind of a thing, blow it up, then circle back into the main room where you're fighting the boss, and then you fly down another little tunnel. Because it would be cool to um, potentially break up scene 5 with little like super tiny miniature scene 4s where you'd like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
going to go into a tunnel for like 30 seconds to blow a thing up and then come back
yeah,
out.
yeah. I like that. It's a recycling with what we've designed already. Just, make
Yeah.
once and then use three, four, 5 times. I love it. I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Um, but yeah, dude, great, great job. I'm super excited to get my hands on this and start uh, putting it into the Unity engine and actually flying around there and shooting stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And before I give it, excuse me, before I give it to you and export it to you, I'm going to export it and make sure that it works in Unity before I give it to you, because that would
Yeah,
be
please.
irresponsible for me to, give it to you without testing it out. Give me one
Yeah, no
second. I'm
problem.
I'm gonna cough really quick.
Okay.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I am back. Okay. Hey, Totoro versus Sephiroth. Is this the Totoro that we know, or is this a new Totoro that
I think
that
this is a new
It's
Totoro.
a new Totoro. Totoro, thank you so much for
Welcome.
being here. Welcome. I am Chris. That's Michael. Very, very nice to have you guys here, or have you here. He said, or actually, hold on. Let me go up. Let me go up. Uh, oh, cool. Sephiroth, or Totoro, he pasted a link. Thank you so much for that link. I'll definitely have to check it out a little bit later. Let me go ahead and click on it. Da 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 da. Blue Blue says, yeah, the slow sweeping curves can still be modular, just like a roller coaster tycoon. That in that game, you should also build large rail systems for a cart to be in through modular system. In that game, you also build large rail systems for a cart to be in through the modular system. This is just a campaign to see Michael make Chris play the game. um, Captain Blue also says, amazing what they could do with such limited space from a CD. Although back then it was seen as a huge upgrade in space. Oh yeah, versus the hell is it? 3.5 cart.
Cartridges.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's crazy. And Totoro says, right. I think back to games that came on 7 disc for PC.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I remember there was like ton of a ton of CDs that came with it. That's crazy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Captain Lewis says, "Have you played Phantasmagoria? Am I saying that right? Pronouncing that right, Michael?"
I think you're saying that right. I'm not familiar with that game.
Yeah. It told us or no, I lost track of it back then. Was it great googling it now on Steam? Actually, nice stuff. Blah blah blah. Oh
Cool.
man, that's cool. My old screen name was just too hard for people to read. This is a slight improvement and a mental picture. I like a lot. That's cool. Well, welcome back, Totoro. Very, very happy to have you back here. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. All right. Um, that's it for me, man.
A-
That
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you like it. So for my homework, I will create a larger sweep, a bigger radius, so that we can have a longer traveling time. I also will texture it. Oh God, that's also kind of a pain in the ass. Even though I want more colors and everything in this, texturing scares the shit out of me because you gotta like UV unwrap and all that other crap. Ah, but I will do it. And if I'm efficient enough, I can export these into Unity, and then have it ready for you to playtest whenever you're ready.
Cool.
Obviously, it's not, you don't have to do it right away, but in the future,
Sure.
whenever we're ready to do that. So yes, that is my task for next Sunday, and I'm just thinking, what else? Yeah, yeah, I think that's enough. That's definitely enough. We'll worry about the next
I think
steps
so too.
later. Yeah, because the texturing itself is a pain in the ass. Hmm. Okay, okay.
And well, so I'll just start thinking out loud. In terms of like you had asked for some help with regard to like, okay, like what should these different rooms be? Is like this one a
Yeah.
generator room? Like, um, those things. I think we probably have a little bit of time to figure those components out, and
Okay.
I would be cautious about us spending too much time up front figuring those out, because what
Okay.
we probably need to do is take those raw basic building blocks, figure out the layout of the level first, and be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that's what the level's going to be. We've got 3 moments here where we can put in a cool, themed room. So
Right.
let's do the engine room, the fuel warehouse, and
Yeah.
the MEP room or something. That way we don't make 5 of those rooms and realize, ah, shit, we only have space for 3.
Sure. Sure.
Do we extend the level to, cram those in there?
Mhm. Mhm.
I think we start with the gray box first, and
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
I identify like, okay, here's this big space that we could do something cool with. Like, then we can brainstorm and decide what to do with it.
Okay. And I think that's great. So that actually gives me priority is to texture these guys first. Um, because
Okay,
these are the uh
makes
the
sense.
real building blocks. Oh, actually, I'll do these guys first. And
Okay,
and Captain Blue Blue, this is a question for you. Um, I will use one texture for these guys. This is my plan at least. Let me know if it's a good plan. I will use one texture for these guys, and then one textures for all the accessories and crap, and any other stuff that we decide to make on another texture. Just to keep them apart. Because in my mind, these are the environmental pipes pieces, and these are
mm-hmm.
the props that goes inside the
Mm-hmm.
environment pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's my way of thinking. Let me know if that makes sense, if that's a good idea, Captain Blue Blue, and hopefully that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Oh, Michael, I also thought of something really quick. Uh, so this thing right
Can we
here.
make that open?
Yes, yes, I can't. Well, I could do it in a really ghetto way. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Hold on. Once you
Yes.
once you hit this thing and this thing, um,
Oh, cool.
like these
Then it
one or
opens.
two. Yeah, yeah, and then it
Hell
goes.
yes.
Sorry, I didn't create like a function or animation,
No, that's okay.
and
Yeah,
it'll open.
if you can send that, like when you export that or get that into Unity, if you can have those as 3 separate pieces,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I'm getting close to being able to. Actually, I probably know enough now to be able to animate that and make that work.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, definitely. As part of your the priority or the base set that you want to start with, I would also include a
sure.
couple of these door pieces too, because I think those
Yeah.
are going to be really important to pepper throughout the
Hmm.
tunnel
Hmm.
in order to create those moments where it's like, oh, you need to dodge to the left here, like, oh, get right in the middle of the screen because we're going through
Hmm.
that eye of the needle one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely give that work on this as well. Yeah, this one is like, oh God. Right.
I'm imagining that they're like drones that are flying backwards in front of you, and they don't realize the eye of the
All
needle is
right.
there, so they explode on the wall.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
That's
cool. You
gonna
should
be great.
we should totally do that. That's pretty cool.
make them kind of dopey.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so I have my homework and I will do that and report back to you guys next Sunday. And
Awesome. Thanks,
yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you guys for giving your feedback. Thank you, Captain Blue Blue and Totoro. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Okay. So that's the update today on my end. And we will go into where is it? Questions and answer time. And while I do this, I will pull up all my Discord stuff. So, Michael, can you take
Sure.
over really quick? Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that.
Absolutely. All right. So we've got a nice big comment from Captain Blue Blue. He says, okay, so in Unity, you can actually stack materials on each other. I would
Mm,
have a base texture for the pipes, and the pipes that are twice as large just tile the material 2 times. Then you can give different modules a detailed texture, like a rust section, a burned out section, for
mm,
example. It
mm,
makes sense to make the pipes share and the props to have their own textures.
mm.
But this depends on if you make the UV map to accommodate the tiling.
I see what he's saying. That makes sense. That makes
I'm glad
sense.
it makes sense to you because it
Yeah,
does
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense to me.
Now you know how I feel when he's talking about stuff that you understand and I don't understand. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys, all right, programming. Whoosh, you know. But yeah, thank you, Hamu. That makes sense. And I will copy and make sure that I do not forget. Um,
Excellent.
I'm gonna put it in my notes here. Texture
And
cap blue blue
Totoro
logo.
V Sephiroth says, a pleasure as always.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, man. Okay, I have it pulled up. If you guys don't have any questions, or if you guys have questions, feel free to ask it, and then we'll address it. But right now, I will. What will I do? I'm going to
We've got
share.
yeah, a bunch of stuff in the gallery, right?
Yeah, yeah, we have a whole bunch of stuff, so that's why I want to share my screen. Actually, first share screens. Screen
While
4.
you're pulling that up, um, for questions, feel free to ask us anything about the game, about the creative process. If you're struggling with something creatively and you want a little creative pep talk, Chris and I are more than happy to draw on our experience to try to help with any of that. If you're curious about the theme park industry, both Chris and I have a lot of experience working in theme parks. Um, or if you just want to ask, like, hey, you guys seen the latest Batman movie? Like, what'd you think? Um,
Batman.
feel free to ask any of those questions. We're happy to chat and hang out with you guys.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right. Very cool. Okay. Captain Blue has a question or comment. He says, I don't know who of you will work with materials in Unity. Usually it's a graphics specialized programmer, but you will have to share that task, I guess. Have you encountered materials yet in your work? To answer that question, well, the plan for now is I design all the textures in Blender and Photoshop, and I will export them as a either a JPEG or a TIFF. I'm not really sure which one's the best one. You could probably let me know, Captain Blue Blue. And then I will export it all via FBX, and then I will deliver that to Michael, and then Michael can take that texture, take those textures, and then manipulate any way he knows how in Unity. Hopefully at least that's the goal um, for now. And PNG for 90% of the cases. Okay, there you go. Thank you. I will be creating PNGs for the textures. I thought it was tips, but I guess not anymore. I think PNGs is like now compressed and optimized enough to be used as textures. But yeah, does that sound okay, Blue Blue? Please let me know, cause yeah, I was just planning to design everything, create all the images in Photoshop, make it pretty nice and pretty, and then export it and then give it to Michael in there. All right. That's a great question. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing that we will take a look at are all the amazing artwork that you guys did. This is from
Oh
Zen.
yeah.
Zen, this is his childhood home, if I remember correctly. He
Yeah,
says
I think that's what he said.
block down my childhood home for a VRC map. Holy cow. And
What's the C stand for? I assume VR is virtual reality, but I don't know what C
yeah,
is.
conference?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Um,
Still, it's cool. I like
yeah,
the sort of like the shape and the style. Those like
yeah,
really steep roof lines are cool.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
VR
VRC,
chat?
VR chat? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that makes more sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's also really cool because what he's doing is he's actually modeling it in one full piece, except this one maybe. This one is not a full mesh because I don't see the lines connecting to it. But this stairway right here, this would give me a lot of headache because you would have to figure out a way to extract one shape and then keep extracting it because notice how everything is from one solid. Um, that is not easy to do. So kudos, Zen, for you being able to extract all those shapes from one freaking geometry. Yeah. Totoro says, I think so. He also said not to be confused with VCR. That means video cassette recorder. Um, I made a boo boo on my stream today. In one of my uh what is it? In one of my renderings, I said that, or I think it was Captain Blue Blue said, or someone said, "Oh, I want to see a cord coming down from her headphones." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course." And here's the cord that connects to the tape cassette, and I'm like, "Shit, did I should say tape cassette?" And the chat was like, tape cassette? Oh my god, you're old, man. I'm like, holy cow. I could have said like iPad or a CD player or a iPhone or something, but I said tape cassette. I don't know why I said tape cassette. I am old, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting up there, dude. Holy cow.
We're boomers.
Oh, boomers, man. I don't know. I was born in '84, so is that considered a boomer?
No, that's
No, right?
considered a millennial.
Yeah, so I'm just a really old millennial. Jeez. Okay.
Well, I'm right there with you, man.
Well, you're only a few years.
I'm a
You're.
year younger than you.
Oh, okay. You're 1 year.
I was born in '85.
Okay, okay. All right. I don't feel too bad. Yeah. And another one of my OG viewers here, Queen,
Ooh,
she
cool.
shared this today with us, and I'm so glad she did because today is Juneteenth. We celebrate Juneteenth, and she's posted a lot of amazing and really, really cute art that she has put on her Redbubble website. And I'm curious if I click it. Uh,
What's Red Bubble?
Redbubble is another there's many Redbubble types websites. It's a site where you can upload your artwork and then convert it into pins, stickers, mugs, shirts, blah blah blah,
Oh
blah
wow,
like whole bunch of
cool.
stuff. It's good in that. Hold on, let me see if I could put up the YouTube or Firefox. Is this gonna work? No, Firefox. Boom, it works. Yay. So this is her site right here. Uh, and I'm very happy that she's sharing her work because I haven't seen her post in a very, very, very long time. But yeah, this is some of the artwork that she has done, and it totally represents
Cool.
her culture, her race, and I think it's great. And I believe King also posted some stuff as well in the chat, we will take a look. So if you guys want to support her stuff, take a look at her Redbubble and her Redbubble site. So very 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 cute uh uh art.
Yeah.
So basically you do the art and they could make it into a phone case and whatnot. So it's really cool.
Cool.
Very very cool. Yeah, thank you again, Queen, for sharing this. This is some pretty amazing, amazing work. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Totoro says that means. Oh wait, I already said that. Captain Blue says, yeah, CD player would make you sound so much younger. Oh shit, man. Okay, and then King posted some artwork
Ooh, cool.
from different. Wow, why is it not? Okay, there you go. From different artists as well. It basically represents his race as well as culture. It's done so beautiful. This reminds me of Firefox,
Oh
the
yeah.
the web browser, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are great.
yeah, it's very very beautiful.
Oh, I like the costume.
Yeah, Y- y- I'm either I'm getting older and getting lazier. I just don't have the patience to do these little details anymore.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah. So whenever I see details like this, I'm very, very appreciative that people are very patient in doing this. This one's cute. I love this one. This one's really cute. I
Yeah.
love the expression.
Whoa, and I didn't notice the like red spikes coming out of her arms. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I would not want to rub elbows. Is that the right phrase? Rub elbows with the,
Yeah,
yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Other than the spikes, everything looks great. I was joking. Awesome stuff. Nice.
cool.
That's beautifully rendered. That's like close to cell shaded almost, but
Mm,
it's
mhm.
so cell shaded that it looks and feels rendered. Because if you really look at it, there's actually just flat colors. There's no
Oh
real
yeah, you're right.
radiance. This artist is able to take little cells and then just make it look good. I mean, there's a little
Right.
bit of highlight, I mean soft gradient here, but other than
Mhm.
that, everything else
For the
is
most
done
part, it's all
really
hard
well.
lines.
Exactly. That's a challenge. That's a challenge. Same thing that I said with
Yeah.
Captain Blue Blue. He does like pixel art, or I'm sorry, 8-bit
Mhm.
art. And 8-bit art is not easy at all. You only have so much information to work with. You
Mhm.
have to, place the right colors in the right position, or else it just doesn't work at all. So much respect to
Totally.
uh, Blue Blue to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, King, if you're here, thank you so much for sharing this. This is
Yeah,
beautiful.
man.
Look at this design, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Very
you know,
cool.
all the all the costuming from Africa, African culture has like the most beautiful shapes and colors and you know design. I mean, just look at
Mhm.
Wakanda. All the Wakanda designs is beautiful.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, and this is what I was talking about. Captain Blue posted his, I want to say
Nice.
16-bit art because this isn't 8. 8 is much bigger, right? So I'm gonna say it's 16-bit. I mean, yeah, no, just being able to, I don't know how he does it, but this takes a lot of patience, is what I was
Mhm.
saying. That this is not easy. It looks simple, but it's not. It's not
Yeah, it's
not
hard.
one bit. Yeah. Um, and this is for an emote that he's creating. My newest emote,
Ooh.
a Swedish cinnamon roll, the original for my emote representing fika, a Swedish style coffee break. Nice.
Cool.
And with the last thing, last one? Yeah, the last thing we have is from
Little
June.
June.
Before I ended my stream, I rated June, And during the raid, God, she's amazing. She was, um,
Yeah, look at that.
yeah, it's so good. She knows how to use different colors as well as, different brushes. I love the mess. I mean, when I say messy, I mean like because the way I do things is I try to get as clean as possible. But
Mm-hmm.
the way she's doing it is it's messy, but it also reads very, very well. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the messiness of the brush that actually gives it a little bit of energy and flavor. And sometimes when I draw, I tend to make my lines so clean that it feels kind of flat and boring. But looking at her
Mm-hmm.
stuff, it definitely inspires me and motivates me to do a little bit more, be a little bit looser, and kind of have the same type of energy that she has in her painting. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And I love how the brushes that she's using, they look like real oil painting. Like that
yeah,
doesn't look digital. I mean, you got to look close, but
right,
um, yeah, that's super cool. And I think that helps lean into what you're talking about, that idea of the sort of controlled chaos, the
chaos, yeah,
grunginess, the
yeah,
natural, organic, imperfect nature of
right,
just putting strokes on the page. It's really cool.
yeah. I,
Love
I,
it.
I like how you said that, the controlled chaos. I have not mastered that yet. Um, I haven't even mastered control yet. So
Yeah.
let alone trying to control chaos. That's above my pay grade, man. So kudos to June for being able to pull this off. Very, very,
Yeah, it looks
very
awesome.
very cool. And yeah, Captain Blue Blue, I can't wait to see what your next emote is. And June, if
Oh,
you're
hey,
watching,
look,
uh, uh,
he's got that emote in the chat right now.
oh, cool! And you know what? It reads very well as a emote.
Yeah, looks
I
great.
can see it. It looks great, Blue Blue. Oh yeah, it was Heavy who suggested you to use your sci-fi character from today's sketch in your flying game. Oh, that's right. Maybe I could pull it up. So Michael, the sketch that I was doing, let me see if I can actually open this up in Photoshop. And we don't have to, but I was just, coming up. You know me. What was I drawing today? Off of the top of your head, what was I drawing today?
You're asking me, like, what do I think you
Yeah,
were drawing?
yeah.
Sexy anime girls?
There you go. You nailed it on the head,
What do you
man.
know?
What do you know?
You
Hold
could have
on.
given me three guesses and I would have only needed the one.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep. All right, hold on, guys. Let me open up the thing for Michael to see and sketch. What's today? The 18th? Or no, it was today's the 19th.
Today's the 19th.
Yeah, but because I saved it on the 18th, so therefore, holy cow, my computer is like running super slow. Apologize, guys. Discord, and then, ooh, my computer is not gonna like this, not one bit. All right.
Oh, do you want to close something else down?
Um,
Is there
not
anything
exactly.
available to close? Maybe not.
No, no. I think I just gotta put this up like so, and I need
Ooh,
to put this here. Oh my gosh, my computer's dying. And unfortunately, it's not showing in the. Hmm.
in the stream? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's not
right.
showing in the stream. It's so weird. Like, apologies, guys. Uh, well, shoot. Well, what I'm gonna do is take this off, and I'm gonna see if I can share my laptop monitor. Oh,
While
oh
you're
God.
doing that, I'm gonna get us caught up on chat.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, man.
Um, all right, so CD player one, yeah, Captain Blue Blue says we have a lot of posts representing culture tonight, and I'm here for it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Blue Blue also says, oh yeah, was it Heavy who suggested you use your sci-fi character? Oh, that's what you're pulling up right now. Totoro v Sephiroth. Nice, Blue Blue. I want to grade the authenticity of your pastry by telling you how much I love the smell of IKEA rolls. Once,
Ah,
one day I will have a real one in Sweden. Captain Blue Blue says, would be an honor. IKEA is basically the Swedish embassy at this point. Thanks.
that's very true. All right. So
And
the
oh, go ahead.
you All right, so you guys see it. So
Yeah,
basically,
I can see
oh
it.
shoot, okay, it's doing that flickering thing on and off. I apologize, you guys are gonna see it going
Oh.
out and in, out and in. Um, Me trying to share my screen with Michael, simultaneously sharing it with you. There's a little bit of glitch, so it's gonna get dark and then go back and then go dark and then go back again. So I apologize for that. But this is what I was sketching late last night, and then this
Hmm.
morning I went ahead and started sketching it again. And then Blue Blue, as well as oh crap, I forgot her name, Yuna. She was on here, and then Yuna asked me the question like, "Oh, what genre is this for?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not really sure because um, I never really started off with a genre. It was just me practicing drawing a cute anime girl." And then so they're like, "Oh, from here it looks." She could be a little bit of sci-fi. And I'm like, okay, well, sci-fi, let me go ahead and put some diva earphones on her, and then, give her some type of high-tech strapping around her chest area, maybe an armband, or something, right? Just so that it feels a little bit more interesting. And this is the chord right here, Michael, that I was talking about. This is the chord
That's plugging
that
into her
that
cassette player.
yep, exactly. It's the cassette player. I know why I said that. I know why. Because Star-Lord uses a cassette player, and
Nice.
because this is sci-fi, subconsciously I'm
Mm,
thinking Star-Lord.
there you
Guardians of
go.
the Galaxy. Are they buying that at all? Hopefully they
Good
are.
save.
Good save. Mia. Oh, Gentleman Heavy is here. Yeah. Blessed be the machine spirit in Chris's laptop. Heal thyself. Rah! Heal. Thank you so much. Good to see you here, Heavy. But yeah, so this is I guess a character that is now sci-fi,
Ooh,
and Heavy was like, "Oh, this is maybe this could go into the game. Maybe this is one of our characters that's flying the pilot or something." I don't know. And I said
totally.
I would have to bring it up to Michael. And thank you, Captain Blue, Blue, for reminding me because I obviously forgot. So yes, this was the thing that I was working on late last night, as well as this early morning stream. There's something going on with her hair thing right here. Let me go ahead and erase that part right here. I apologize, guys. It's going in and out, in and out. All right. And Photoshop does not like to be captured in my display. It's so weird. I don't know why. It shows the Photoshop, but it won't show the. Oh, wait a second. Will this work right here?
It doesn't show the actual canvas.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know why it does that. I don't like it. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna stop sharing now so that we don't have to keep going through this.
Sure.
Apologize, you guys, and stop streaming. Boom. And then go this. Oh, not stop streaming. Stop sharing. There you go.
Mm, mm.
Oh, Captain Blue says interstellar facts. So very shit.
There you
He's not
go.
hitting. He's not hitting me with fax machines. Damn.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And I, certainly don't want to put more artwork on your plate. Um, but yeah, in terms of like story wise, having the like text box panels at the bottom, it would be great if we had like a collection of characters that we can put in there to,
Oh yeah.
tell the story. So we'd have like different pilots. Like that would be pretty cool. And
Yeah.
also might be neat to have avatars like and that could also go in that text box of the enemies, like maybe
Hmm.
some drones or the boss. That way, if she wants to actually engage and say something, that would be really cool. So we could have
Yeah.
like her little avatar down there. You can have your
Right.
pilot avatar.
Does
So yeah,
is our enemies, are they piloted by humans or are they just drones?
they're all
Drones.
robots,
Okay, great.
but the boss at least is like sentient. She would be able
Hmm.
to interact with. And I think maybe the littler drones maybe would be able to say some things, but they would be kind of not very articulate. They would be very much like, oh, I've got just enough like processing power allocated to me to be able to shoot my targets and not
Mm,
much more
mm.
than that. But for
Yeah,
her, she's like, you know, like a master AI
yeah,
kind of a
yeah.
thing.
I yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, as long as we hit our deadline and it's within our time scope, not budget scope, but time scope. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we
That's the
could
big one
totally,
now.
yeah, we could totally do it. I mean, yeah, it's I already know that there are stuff that we don't know that's gonna hit us, and that we're gonna be like, oh shit, we had no idea we had to do X, Y,
Hmm.
Z, and then now that's gonna push it even more down the road, or we're gonna have to, or we speed up our progress or process. It's like
Hmm.
we gotta work even faster now that we didn't know X, Y, Z. We had to do that as well. So yeah,
Sure.
we just gotta figure some stuff out. Um,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that's something that we can keep as sort of like a if we have time when we get closer to the finish, then let's do that because that would be like a really easy thing to add in at the last minute in terms of
Mm.
like programming the game um, and making small adjustments to be like, oh, we want to have a little breather here where we can have a little bit more text. I think that would be easy to do like near the finish line. We don't need to worry about building that in now.
Right, 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 right. Um, I think that's a good comment, good idea, man. And Heavy says have the boss be like a GLaDOS from Portal and the little drones be like claptraps from Borderlands.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent suggestions, gentlemen. Heavy. Yeah, I've definitely been this whole time. I've been drawing a lot of inspiration for our boss from GLaDOS because GLaDOS I think is one of the coolest characters in all of video gamedom, and she's a really awesome boss. And
Yeah.
yes, Claptrap's a lot of fun too. I imagine art drones are maybe not even quite as articulate as Claptrap, um, but at least as bumbling.
Oh, nice, nice. I gotta check out what claptraps it is. What it looks like, what it does. I've never heard of it
I'll
before.
I'll try to dig up some videos for you. He's like a small kind of he thinks that he's quick-witted. Uh, like imagine R2D2, but much more mobile and able to actually talk instead of being like beeping and
Beep. Mm-hmm.
booping.
Booping.
He can actually talk to people. But he's also kind of an idiot, but he thinks he's great and thinks
Uh-huh.
everybody's like his friend and loves him, but they're like, stealing his money and tying him up to a post to leave him out
Uh,
to die, and he's just too
aw.
stupid to realize that. Yeah. So yeah,
Aw.
he's charming and adorable. Well, some people think he's really annoying
Uh-huh,
and don't
sure.
really like Claptrap, but
Uh,
I think he's pretty great.
that's cute. All right, I'll definitely check him out. Blue says, "Oh, like how the Necrons work in Warhammer 40K, the robot lords have sentience, but the lower you go down the tiers, the more automated." Ah, yeah. Menial
There you
workers do
go.
not need to know how to speak for themselves. Yep, yep. And yeah,
Bingo.
great point, Blue Blue. And Heavy says maybe more like the defective turrets from Portal 2 then.
Mm. Yes, I think that, yeah. The drones that I'm envisioning for our game are much closer to the Portal 2 defective turrets than they are to
Mm, mm,
Claptrap.
mm, mm.
Um, but yeah, good. These are great suggestions. These are really
Yeah.
good pulls from the annals of video game characters. So
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you guys. And gentlemen, have you? Thank you for being here. I went ahead and pulled out the Coca-Cola that you like, as well as Captain Blue Blue. I hope you're enjoying your rum and Coke. And Totoro, if you are still there, please let me know what your drink is so that I may serve one up for you, like so, for our next session, because it that actually making the drink actually takes some time. I can't do it right now since we're streaming. But for next time, if you're here, I will make you yourself a nice drink. So yeah, just let me know. You don't have to let me know now, but anytime you want me to make it, I will be here. But yeah, do you guys have any other questions at all? Because tonight we're actually running pretty good on time. I mean,
Yeah, we did
I
good.
thought I would, yeah, I thought I would have like a lot more to show, but it wasn't that much. But I'm glad you liked it. So at least we're on the right track. Um,
Totally.
and and one Sunday down, so we'll only have like X amount of Sundays left to go.
I
Oh
know.
God, oh God, it's coming along so fast and furious, and oh my goodness. But we'll get it done. Very, I have faith in us.
Yeah,
Blue
I
Blue
do too.
Blue Blue asks, I would love to hear where the story is at this point. Um, story wise, you want to take a crack at it, Michael?
Sure. This story honestly has really taken a big backseat. We've been building this thing primarily with the game in mind first, and there's like a really there isn't even much of a well, I guess there's a little bit of a story. There's a basic story. There's really more of a backdrop. We don't really have any characters aside from the boss.
Mm,
Um, that I would consider like, an actual character in a story. Not even the player, like we don't even have a player character. Um, and part of that is because the focus for us really is on trying to figure out how to make this into a game that's actually fun to play, and then the story is actually going to end up being like icing on the cake
yeah.
for us. Certainly important, I think, to both Chris and I. We're both like big fans of story, and want to, and I think a story can really elevate a game like this and make it that much more impactful and interesting. Um, but so far, we have a vague idea of the story, which basically, to kind of catch everybody up, the basic idea is that um, you, the player, are part of this sort of space fleet, this like military space fleet, and there is a distress signal that you've kind of been picking up. Like you think maybe it's a distress signal. It kind of keeps getting interrupted. You're not really sure. So you go to the location where that distress beacon seems to be originating from, and discover that there is a mining colony there, and they're under attack by these drones. And when you get there, that's when you realize, like, okay, this is why that communication was like coming in stuttered, and we couldn't quite figure out if they're actually sending a legitimate distress signal, because the drones who are here are jamming their communications and trying to like hide up the fact that they're assaulting this mining colony. And the boss is basically trying to steal the principal resources that the mining colony is extracting from this asteroid system. And
Mhm.
so when you arrive, you start to defend the colony, fight off the drones, and save the day, basically. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like the rough basic story. But we're that's as far as we've gotten. We're like, okay,
Hmm.
that's great. That's enough for us to build a game, and then we'll worry about dialogue and characters and all that stuff later. So,
Right,
um,
right. And well
go
said.
ahead,
Yeah,
Chris.
that's awesome. Thank you for explaining that. And yeah, because you explained it much better than I would have. I would have just said, yeah, I didn't even think about story. We just want to first create the game because story
We just
will
want to
take.
shoot stuff.
Yeah, we just want to shoot stuff. But in reality, story is very important. And as a Disney Imagineer, I've been trained that it's all about story. It's all about story. When we design a ride, it has to serve the story, right? However, because Michael and I are essentially kind of on a clock now, and as well as we're kind of learning two different programs from the ground up, and we're trying to integrate those two programs together, combine our both of our skills. I think trying to come up with a refined story that would take a lot of time and energy that should in reality go into the game itself. But like Michael said, if and when we do have extra time in the future, and maybe if our game gets picked up, or when I say picked up, I mean it's received really, really well, and if people wants us to keep on doing this game, then yeah, Michael and I will definitely uh, come up with a legit story. And I got a good storyteller right next to me. Michael's a freaking amazing storyteller, and he'll be able to craft us a really awesome, uh, dynamic narrative that we could all enjoy. So yeah, he says it's more of a show rather than a tell type story, or at the very least for the moment. And Blue Blue says, sounds good. Dialogue system and cutscenes can be added on top of the game later when tested. That is very true. Yep. Yeah,
Yep,
we could essentially
totally.
tell the story through the game, right? Basically just like having the cutscenes and show character moments and their personalities in the dialogue,
Mhm.
perhaps. Yeah,
Yeah,
very cool.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm very very excited, and I wonder how our game will be received, um, and if they want us to continue on. I'm just curious what the appetite for rail shooters are nowadays. Do you would you know? Do you have any idea, Michael, at all?
Well, I mean, that's a hard question to
Yeah,
answer. There's
yeah,
definitely a there is a group of people out there who are huge fans of the genre. I'm one of them. I
yeah,
love rail shooters,
yeah. Freaking awesome.
specific ones. And I mean, I don't play a ton of well, I don't really play a whole lot of anything these days aside from like Halo and Overwatch, because I'm so busy making this video game. Um, but I guess maybe a better way to answer that question is if you look at like the entire group of fans for Nintendo, people who love Nintendo games, right? Nintendo makes a couple of different types of games. They've got their Animal Crossing games, they've got their Zelda games, they've got, Pokemon, Mario. They also got Star Fox way over here. Um, I think out of all of those groups that I just mentioned, the Star Fox fans are probably the smallest group. The biggest group's probably Pokemon. The second biggest is probably Zelda, maybe Animal Crossing. Maybe Animal Crossing's third. Um, I don't know. Pokemon's definitely the number one, and then there's probably like a three-way tie between Mario, Zelda, and Animal Crossing for second place, and then somewhere down at the pretty low, much lower on the list is Star Fox, and then beneath that I think is Metroid, somewhere below that, which is a bummer because man, Metroid's cool.
Retro is fun. Yeah.
Um, but I think that sort of like pie chart of the Nintendo fan base based on the different genres is probably relatively representative of the entire population of the video game group. So you can imagine that of all the people who are interested in playing video games and would be interested in like, an indie game from two guys who've never made a game before, honestly, the number of people who are going to be chomping at the bit for a rail shooter like this is probably not a huge group of people, nowhere near as big as a group if we were making something that was like a Souls-like or a
Diablo
Metroidvania
Immortal.
or something. Yeah, yeah, Diablo Immortal, like yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, so I think it's a relatively niche audience.
Yeah, right.
Um, but not the most niche. There are certainly genres of games that are way, way more niche than a rail shooter. So,
Mm-hmm, hmm.
yeah, I'm curious to see what the reaction is going to be too.
Yeah.
I think as long
Um.
as we can make something that's fun and that we
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
we should probably get a pretty positive reaction.
Yeah, and Heavy says there's always a cult following for everything. You just got to go out and find them. That's very true.
Yeah.
Blue Blue says it's not a common type game anymore since modern engines allows for free-flying combat sims now. But then again,
Hmm.
Star Fox re-released for Switch and it was a huge success and reintroduced the genre for younger generations.
Good
Yeah,
point.
that's good to know, man. And Totoro says, and Pikemen, are you familiar with
Pikmin.
Pikmin? What is Pikmin?
Pikmin is, I think it's the most recent brainchild from Shigeru Miyamoto. So the guy who created uh, Mario, basically Mario and Zelda. He's like he's basically he's basically the Walt Disney of Nintendo, right?
Oh,
Um, he's brilliant, like one of the most respected game designers in history, if not the most respected.
Wow.
Um, and like where he gets his ideas is amazing. And I am so thankful to have been able to actually work with him while we were in Osaka, Japan.
Holy cow.
Got to sit in a couple meetings with him, walk the construction site with him, and to like watch
Whoa.
him work is so cool. Yeah, yeah, it was
Whoa.
amazing.
Cool. I did not know that.
So like yeah, that was on my bucket list, so I got to check that one off. So
Nice.
he's super cool. But anyway, where he gets his ideas for video games is fascinating to me. When he was a kid, he used to spend a lot of time wandering around in the like local forest, in the local woods,
Uh-huh.
near where he lived, and there were all kinds of cool things for him to find in these like neat caves, and that inspired him to make Zelda because he wanted to create a game that recaptured that idea of exploration and finding things, and so that's kind of where Zelda came from. And then for
Right.
Pikmin, much more recently, he became like I think a bit of a hobbyist gardener, and so he was like doing a lot of gardening around his house, and he envisioned like, well, what would it be like if there were these little sort of like plant creatures who kind of worked in groups and lived in this sort of uh, not quite microscopic, but this the like Honey I Shrunk the Kids scale
Mm.
environment, and
Mm.
so he made this entire game out of it. And those little cute plant uh, creatures are called Pikmin.
Nice.
And so yes, Pikmin is another like tentpole uh, IP in Nintendo's collection of games. I don't think Pikmin gets as much love as it should, though. I feel like it's been a long time since we've had a proper Pikmin installment. I played like the first Pikmin, and I think I've sampled the second one. I really haven't played a whole lot of Pikmin. They're really cool, and they're really fun and charming, and you've got this like big collection of this like
Nice.
little army of Pikmin that you can control, and you can throw them, and then they like fight bigger predators and things. It's really neat. But anyway, yes, Totoro, good call on Pikmin.
And Totoro says, "Hey friends, I must head to bed early tonight. Be well, friends, and keep creating greatness or a great mess." Yeah, thank you again so much, Totoro, for being here. And I hope to see you next time. And have a great rest, man. Hopefully you have a good day tomorrow. So tomorrow's a holiday, right? Tomorrow
Yep, in the
is
U.S.,
oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So if you're in the U.S., hopefully you get another day of rest. But since you're going to bed early, I'm thinking you're probably not in the
probably
US.
not.
Yeah. But yeah, have a great day, man. All right, take care. Yeah, Miyamoto story. That good, great. He said great Miyamoto story, buddy. That's so cool. That is awesome. Anything else? Anything else we shared? Art. We took questions and anything from you, Michael? Any updates? Anything updates from me? From myself, I'm still working on my Kickstarter. Michael, thank you so much for sending me those video references. I'm going
Sure.
to let those inspire me and redo the Kickstarter stuff that I showed you guys last week. Hopefully, when I redo it, I'll show it to you guys again before I launch it. But yeah, that's all I'm working on right now. I'm also working on the artwork for the Seven Deadly Sin Girls for my next Kickstarter, and then that's about it on my end. I'm also streaming. You can find all my stream here down in Twitch. .tv at Lee Design Studio. And Michael, what have you been up to, and and where can people find you, good sir?
Sure. So I'm continuing to do the Unity tutorials. I am going to finish the Unity 3D tutorial tomorrow.
Nice.
Um, and so I'll have the final project that I can show you. It's going to be a first-person shooter zombie game. So that'll be kind of interesting, and I've learned
Hmm.
quite a few things from that that I'm carrying over into our game, and I've made a couple of uh, advances in our game. A couple of things that I've got like half baked where I'm like, that's a cool idea. Let me see if I can program that. And then I got it like most of the way there, but it's still missing a little bit of piece. So that's the teaser for that. I'll show you what I'm talking about on Wednesday.
Nice.
Um, the other big thing, I think what I'm going to do, and I'll get into more details with this on Wednesday, but I think I'm going to try to also race through the Unity 2D course because they're things that I did not learn in the 3D course that I think would actually be really helpful or essential even in a couple cases
Sure.
for the rail shooter.
Sure.
Um, I'll talk more about that then, but I think if I keep my pace up, I should be able to like cram that in
Nice.
before
Nice.
we run too much at a time. So anyway, stay tuned for that on next Wednesday when it's my turn to give an update on the game. And in the meantime, you can continue to like if you're interested in more of what I've got to offer, I have a book out on Amazon, Blockbuster Blueprint, which is all kind of about like how big blockbuster stories work. And I'm working on a second edition of that that will come out probably later this year or early next year. So if
Mm.
you want to wait, you're welcome to. I'll have an updated version then, and I'm going to have an audiobook version then too. So if you are more of an audiobook listener or you like to listen to audiobooks when you're driving or doing the dishes or whatever, then stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
I've got a Twitch channel, which you can see below, but I don't have it up and running yet. I'm completely focused on our rail shooter game. I've got plans to do some streaming at some point, but right now I've got too much on my plate, so that's kind of on pause.
Right.
But stay tuned. Eventually, I'll do something. So in the
Yeah.
meantime, you can keep seeing me here every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, hanging out with Chris and talking with you lovely people about how to stay creative.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much, Captain Blue Blue, Totoro, Heavy. Thank you guys all so much for being here. And Blue Blue says I'm not the most experienced and never really broke into the industry, but if you have any questions or want feedback outside the streams, I am available in the DMs. Thank you so much, Blue Blue. Really appreciate that. And yes, whenever I start doing the textures and if I run into anything, regarding, the whole transfer from Blender into Unity, I'll definitely give you a ring. But before I do, I will be be diligent and look at YouTube tutorials before I ask stupid questions, because there are stupid questions. I'm not one of those people that says there are no stupid. Yes, there are. There are dumb questions. Mainly because you never, or I never. If you ask a stupid question, it's because you never really did your homework and research. So I will do my homework and research first before I ask you, my good sir. But yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Blue Blue. And Captain, oh, not Captain. Gentleman Heavy says, same with me. If you have any feedback or or want some voice work done for the game, I could see what I can do. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Heavy. I really appreciate it. Wow, you guys are awesome. That is so cool. We're so lucky, Michael. That that's awesome. Thank you, Heavy. We really appreciate you guys. And that's about it. And Oh, oh, right. And I know you guys have this already, but just to be thorough, I want to go ahead and dish out our social media stuff. I want to put Michael's stuff out as well as my stuff too. All right. Thank you guys, and don't go anywhere. We will raid, but until then, we will see you guys Wednesday. All right. Bye, guys. See ya. All right. Let me see who we shall raid. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, my friend Marie, she is twitching right now, and let's go ahead and see what she is up to. And what I shall do now is, oops, go into here and type raid.
Yeah. I'm
Raid.
glad you remembered this time because I forget
Yeah.
every time.
No, I forget too. Last week I forgot to, so fine. All right, let's see. Let's see what she's doing. Do, 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 do. But yeah, everyone, have a
Oh,
great rest of the night, okay? Hope to
bye
see you
everybody.
guys next week. Bye.